welcome back to the Anime Iceberg. I'm Megan,
And I'm Meg.
and today we're talking about Dr. Stone episode 49, The Medusa's True Face.
Yes, and this is another great episode. It's got a short and sweet description. Summary of the episode is the team revives Kaseki to work on the drone. Meanwhile, Ginro is called to see the master.
Yep, and this covers manga chapter 119, Science Soldiers, 120, Top Secret, and secret is spelled Seacret, so I think it's supposed to be a pun, and 121, Medusa's True Face.
Yeah, let's get into it. As the summary mentioned, they're working on reviving Kaseki and they're putting him back together, and they pretty much have him put together, but there is a hole in his back, and Suika points out it's a poop-shaped hole. And at first, Senku's like, "Oh, we'll just revive him," and then they're like, "Isn't that gonna leave a mark? Like, you don't want that on your back. I don't think he'd appreciate it." But Taiju has come to the rescue. He is being himself and diving down and grabbing all their friends.
And he doesn't need scuba gear.
Nope, nope, that's Senku's like, yeah, he defies human logic and ability. And again, he's like, I always wondered why you guys were friends. You're both so resilient. But Taiju has gotten the piece and that of Kaseki, and they're able to revive him. And I don't know, I appreciated this detail, and I was happy for Kaseki. He when he got revived, he's like, I feel great, and Senku's like, yeah, because it's revival, like it healed you if you had any like arthritis or anything, like it healed it, and
I
so
always
he's
wondered if something like that would happen. We'll probably get into it as more people are revived, but I expected someone to like get revived and be like, "Hey, the pain is gone." What do you mean? What pain? It's like, "Oh, you're like down here was hurting." It's like, "Dude, I think you had appendicitis. Man, that would have been deadly if we hadn't gotten you petrified and revived."
yeah, and just like think about like I mean basically everyone gets to start over. Like if you I'm imagining like if you had cancer or something, uh
Yeah.
like everyone for a hot minute you wouldn't need ooh, actually that's so interesting to think about because like thinking about like cancer, like that's something that takes a while to actually grow and show itself. So I wonder, like after everyone's revived, how long would it be before you start seeing like cancer come back?
Mm.
That'd be
Yeah.
interesting. Anyway, random
It's the
random
scientist
thought.
in you.
Yeah. Or like if you had like, dude, it'd be crazy if you had like Alzheimer's or something.
Oh.
And like really like near the end and then all of a sudden like it's
Oh man, they'll be so
like that'd
oh,
be crazy.
man.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the episode. Of course, as everyone thought, Kaseki was super distraught that the lab had been torn apart by Senku, and I love Senku. He's just like, hey, like,
That is such a you pose. Like I can just see you doing that teehee if you destroyed something on purpose.
yeah. There's a scene actually from a show that I frequently think about. Like this guy, like totally knocks over a fruit stand, and then he like skips away. Like I think about that all the time. Like,
What show is that?
it's from New Girl.
Of course it is.
Yeah. But seriously, I don't know why, but I like think about that like once a week. Because it's just like anytime like I, you know, spill something or like run into something and like it's okay.
Teehee.
Anyway, Koski puts the lab back together and now it's on to making their drone. And they kind of clue us into the process a little bit. They're like dipping feathers into plastic to like get like a lightweight but sturdy material.
Propeller.
Thank you. And then they're also making what Senku calls a fidget spinner, something
It's ball
that
bearings.
can, yeah. Um, and I like the little mention of Leonardo da Vinci. He calls Senku calls him the OP dude because he was an artist and a scientist or
Yeah,
engineer.
is that the one who was well obviously I know who Leonardo da Vinci is, but in Ever After, was he the one that was
Yes, he
yes.
was in it.
He made her
Yes.
dress, didn't he?
Yep.
Oh man.
I love he's great in his character is great in that. It's like, yes, I will go down in history as a man who opened a door.
No, I like when he's trying to knock some sense into the prince.
Ah, yes, that whole scene. Honestly, I could quote that, but I will not. Yeah, if you haven't watched Ever After, it's a good Cinderella retelling.
Yeah, no magic, no magic involved.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
Cinderella gets to punch someone in the face.
Yes.
It's my favorite
It's great.
part.
Punches someone, chucks apples at someone.
Carries the prince on her back.
Yep. Yep. Tries to sword fight. Like she's great.
Yeah.
Best. Okay. Let's see if we can get through this without getting distracted.
Fat chance.
Um, then we get like while Kaski's working on the drone, Taiju has gotten everyone from the bottom of the ocean, and they start putting the everyone back together, and including someone that's not from their team. He just grabbed everyone, and there was another guy that he grabbed that it must be like a villager, but they can't like revive everyone because as Senku already said, like it takes a while to they have unlimited revival fluid, but it takes a while to make it. And that's why they need to get the petrification device because they won't be able to revive people fast enough and they need the trump card. Yeah, and but Koski has already finished the drone, but it is a little rough around the edges, and Senku's like, yeah, this is why this is Mark 1. They've
Yep.
got they've gotta make some improvements. We finally, I don't know that we finally get to check in with the spy team, and we find out Ginro has been called to the master. And he is very much not happy about it, and I would not be either.
Wow.
Um, he's trying to get Kohaku and Amaryllis to go with him, but they're like, we can't. See ya,
We called
buddy.
you.
Yeah. And as they're leaving, Maz is there, and I mean, he's like the one intelligent man, I guess, because he, he's like, you're the intruder. You're like, yeah, duh, dude. But, and then we go back and forth between Kohaku and Ginro from here on out. Ginro goes into the master's hut, and Ibarra is there, and he is going to teach Ginro everything he needs to know.
Yeah, in the manga, it's phrased as you will be vetted before you meet the master.
Yeah.
And Ginro, rightfully so, is trying to explain, like, yo, I'm a dude, this isn't gonna work, you're gonna be disappointed. And the manga also points out that when Ginro gets nervous, he can't lie. So he's just like stuttering and stammering. And like at this point, he and probably no one else would care if his cover got blown because it's gonna be blown soon enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And to kind of protect himself, Senku had made like a little concoction for them to kind of daze their captors. So he gets that out and dazes Ibarra, and he's about to run away, but then he's like, I better look around, otherwise Kawaku's gonna yell at me. And he does. He looks at the master, and it turns out the master's just Stone, who looks very similar to Soyuz. Then we go Kawaku, now that her cover is blown. She does what I think she's been waiting to do forever. She goes full gorilla mode and it starts attacking all the guards, and
What you got,
she
Kohaku? A knife! No!
yeah, she's taking them all out. But
She's
then
pretty unstoppable, but Maz is very strong and has fighting prowess. So we finally get the duel that was fated to be.
Yeah, and only because all the guards were like, "Let's kill her," and Ma's like, "You can't kill this beauty." Like, okay, dude.
You know,
Um,
I'm kind of curious about Maz and like he says he can get any girl from the harem, and that is one disgusting, but two, I'm wondering has he sired any offspring is what I'm wondering. I would assume that both he and Ibarra are very careful about such things, because there is no way to stop.
I don't
Uh,
know. I don't know if they're care because what do they care? And they just get new girls every year.
hmm.
So
Hmm.
what does it matter?
Bunch of little Mazes out
And
there running around.
I don't know. Don't you remember Apothecary Diaries when Mama was
Ugh.
like, there's always a way. A woman only has a baby if she wants to.
Yeah.
But Maz, Rose, he is stronger than Kohaku. But she's definitely holding her own.
She's faster
Um,
than him, I would say.
yeah, yeah. But so now we go back to Ginro, and he has seen the master, seen that he's stone, and Ibarra's like, I can't let you live. And Ginro starts is running for his life and is trying to get Kohaku's attention. And while he is doing that, Ibarra stabs him with his little claw things from behind, right
I
through the
remember
stomach.
gasping when we first
Yeah, it's
watched
it's
that.
pretty gruesome.
Yeah, I mean, this
And
show doesn't usually go that far, and it decided to. Um, and
yeah,
I'll have
it,
more to say after we finish the summary, but he gets stabbed and he falls. In the anime, Kohaku catches him and then carries him away. In the manga, he hits the ground. She doesn't catch him. That was a long drop, and that definitely didn't help his condition. I think an important thing to note about Ginro and his character, like, how he is, um, if he didn't stop to get Kohaku's attention, he might have been able to get away from Ibarra, just considering like he's younger and faster. But by stopping to try to get Kohaku's attention, I don't blame him for doing that. When you're running and you're scared and you have a friend, you call to them for help. However, he put himself at risk by doing that, but he also put Kohaku at risk because she was in the middle of a fight with Maz and he distracted her. So continuing to run would have been the best for him, but because he's Ginro, he was like, get someone else to do it. And he decided to like,
mhm.
pass the buck.
Yeah. I don't know if there was really any way out of the situation because, like, even if he had kept running, there were still all of those guards who had been
True.
alerted, and
Yeah,
so
he doesn't have a weapon.
I don't think he really would have been able to escape in the long run.
Yeah,
Um, and I think how everything turned out was actually for the best.
true.
Um, yeah, so he gets stabbed and Kaku catches him, and I mean, she said that like he's multiple organs have been punctured. Like this is
Yeah.
fatal. Before he's about to die, but before he dies, he does tell Kohaku that the master is stone, and he looks like Soyuz. Kohaku is obviously very upset, and she's like, "You can't die. We can't have this happen." And she comes up with a very good plan. She decides to share the secret about the master, and she gets away from everyone else,
She
and then
tells Amaryllis something and then she
yeah, she
runs.
does. Yeah, she does. And then she goes to like the top of the village and is about to share the secret. And Ibarra stops them by telling Kirisame to turn. Basically, they get turned to stone.
Yeah. But
Um,
that means that Ginro isn't dead, and hopefully the restorative properties of the revival process will heal
mhm.
him.
And also Kohaku, again, being the best, she gets a very clear look at the Medusa. And
Yep.
yes, it is science. not some mystical
Yes.
thing.
And
And that's the
that's
end.
where the episode ends. Really good episode. So we got manga extras. We got a Mecha Senku Q&A. What other sleazy ultimate moves does Ginro use? So, Ginro's 5 great sleazy ultimate moves. Ultimate move, not my problem. I don't make others do everything, mind you, just the annoying and scary stuff. If the job is eating something yummy, then leave it to me. Number 2, ultimate move, abandon the post. Before you know it, I'm gone. Give me a chance to slack off and I'll take it. I want rewards without putting in the effort. Number 3, thoughtlessness. Read the room? I can't even read a book. I trample over people's spirits with my bare feet. Number 4, suckerfish. People stronger than me should be fighting. Let them handle everything, but let me take credit. And number 5, sudden onset ouchie. When the times get tough, I get a convenient ailment. When all's well again, I make a miraculous recovery.
Yep.
Oh, what a
And
child.
he's the worst.
And then we also have a file for Kirisame. Her battle ability is 4 stars, throwing arm is 5 stars, and her love prowess is 1 star.
Oh.
She is 164 centimeters. I feel like that's 5'3". Can you double check that for me? And her job is Special Forces Petrifier. As a girl, Kirasame believed, like everyone else, that the Master could petrify others. But one day, Ibarra told her that the Master decided to entrust her with the petrification weapon. Kirasame was shocked, but she accepted her duty and became devoted to polishing her throwing skills. She hasn't revealed the secret to anyone, not even those close to her. That's why she purposely avoids romantic relationships, vowing to be single forever.
Well,
That may or may not change.
yeah, now that I think about it, that I like that little detail because of what may or may not happen later.
Yeah, we don't know what.
Yeah, we don't know anything.
Uh, something else I wanted to mention. Um, I vividly remember the first time we watched this episode. It was the week leading up to when I went to your apartment, Meg, with Ruth to go to that Comic-Con.
Oh.
Um, and I remember just being floored because so a trope that I dislike in shonen anime, and I know that you don't like it either, Meg, is like the whole character gets fatally wounded and then, they have a dramatic scene with their friends, and then like next episode, oh look, they're okay, they're gonna make it.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, they're not. I'm pretty sure their heart got speared. So in this one, since Dr. Stone is a show where they're trying to save everyone. There are few, if any, deaths that happen, especially with named characters. So, there's no, there's no baloney here. Like, Ginro can be saved in a very practical way, a way we know that works. So I like that this was set up that if he's saved, it's going to be believable. He and Kohaku are going to be MIA for a little bit, though.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and Kohaku is the best. This was just like this episode was a testament to how much she cares about people and how clever she is and her
Mm-hmm.
willingness to make sacrifices to help others. And I don't know, it's really cool. And I know this will probably come up in the next episode or maybe even the one after that. But when you see them as petrified statues, I've read ahead in the manga, but I remember seeing Ginro, there's stone covering the outside of his clothes. So that means his
Mm.
blood was petrified. I
Oh,
like that
yeah.
detail.
Yeah. Anyway, you have lots of stuff.
Yeah. Moving on from the episode to just personal stuff to share. I went to a murder mystery party within the last week, and it was with my friend Ellie at the place where she and I graduated from and Meg graduated from. They were doing an alumni event, so we all dressed up and it was like a old fashioned, I don't know, like 1930s and 40s kind of shindig. And we actually solved the murder. I was kind of riding on people's coattails for a while there, but we solved the murder. It was just, I don't know, really fun, and I miss doing stuff like that, like escape rooms, mystery parties, things like that. So it was really nice. Another thing I did, I mentioned way back when, was I was reading the Map to Everywhere series. It's a middle grade fiction series, 4 books, considerably thick books. And they have some awesome illustrations spattered throughout. But I loved it. I think it's kind of a masterclass in just imaginative writing, and it may be middle grade, but I think any age group can enjoy it. If I had one complaint, I think there should have been one more book in the series because by the end, there were just a few things that kind of got wrapped up a little bit too quick for my taste. Like there, I was very curious. There could have been more to kind of even that out, but I really liked the storyline. It had like interwoven plot lines, very I just seldom see that level of intricacy in middle grade fiction, so I really, really liked it. Um,
Hmm.
yeah. And one last thing, also something I had mentioned a couple weeks back. My library was doing Manga Madness instead of March Madness. And so we had mentioned like Full Metal had beaten out Dr. Stone by one vote. One vote. And it's rightfully so. Um but where we left off, Full Metal was pitted against Fruits Basket. Full Metal won with 10 votes, but then Full Metal was pitted against Spy Family. And Spy Family got twice as many votes as Full Metal.
I don't understand that.
The stinking
How?
injustice.
I mean, I love Spy Family, but it doesn't beat Full Metal. It doesn't even come close.
No, Full Metal has a
Uh,
storyline.
yeah, seriously.
And then, so Spy Family was in the semifinals with Assassination Classroom, and Assassination Classroom won.
Now, I can't say too much about that because I haven't read or
Yeah,
watched it, but
admittedly, yes, I haven't. But yeah, disappointing.
I mean, seriously, as soon as saw Full Metal on there, like
A clear
Full
winner.
Metal, like that's the clear winner. And I think you said like last year, like One Piece won,
Yeah. And
which I would say.
it was pitted against Attack on Titan and ones
Ooh,
like that.
what? Okay, I haven't read One Piece or anything. I know people love it, so like I understand why it won, but
Yeah.
Assassination Classroom, and just how? Who are these people that are voting for Spy Family? My theory was that it was like was mostly like teenagers
Yeah, I was in the
um
teen room
is
where they posted
voting,
that.
so maybe just because Spy Family's newer, they
Yeah.
like know it. That was my
Mm.
guess. Still. Anyway, yeah, I guess okay, I forgot to write down, but we did finish our book club book, which was part of a series.
Yes.
Um, it's called Princess Academy it's by Shannon Hale, and it also I think is probably middle grade.
Yeah, it gets
I
kind of
don't,
intense, but
yeah, but it's also really good. It has like if you haven't read any of her books, it's like really good world building and the characters. There's
yeah,
always great like
they
character
actually have
development.
personality.
Yeah, yeah. And it's kind of mm, there's like a little bit of there's always like a little bit of magic, but it's not like what like
It's
you
not
would
like
typically
casting
think.
spells. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
natural kind of your natural ability just used in a special way, kind of.
Mm-hmm. I would classify it a little bit like fairy tale.
Yeah, she does fairy tale-esque style writing,
Mm-hmm.
but with kind of twists to them.
Yeah, yeah. So if you're into that, check it out. All right, I think that's all we've got. So, Megan, what was your favorite line?
Mine came from Senku. This is the age of the stone world. No one gives a crap about that crap.
It's a good line.
Yeah. What about you?
Mine came from Ginro, which I think is this the second time
This might be. Yeah.
for not liking him. He does sometimes have the occasional good line. Um, yeah, he says when he's going to the Masters, he said, "Not my fault. I look good in a dress," but more crying,
Yeah.
more crybaby.
Whining.
Yeah, and then what did we learn?
Trust your battle instincts. Make sacrifices if necessary.
Mhm. And who pushed the story forward.
Kohaku for seeing Medusa's true face.
Yeah. Honestly, Kaku like ruled this episode.
She's ruled this whole season.
Yeah, she really has. She's great.
Yeah. She might be my favorite female anime character. I gotta kind of cycle through all the shows we've watched,
hmm
but like honestly, like her and
Yeah.
Shirayuki.
Yep, I was gonna say like Shirayuki is pretty good.
Yeah.
I also love Toru. Like she's always got a
Toru
soft.
is great. Toru is great, but I gravitate towards tomboy characters a lot of times.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I Kohaku might be one of the best,
Yeah.
if not the best. Yeah. All right. That is all we've got. So we will be back next week with another episode.
Yep. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.